Two car makers, two countries, one mission: to make electric cars truly affordable. That's the next big race in the EV world, and only one company looks ready to win it. For years, electric cars have been a symbol of progress: quiet, fast, futuristic. But for most Americans, they're still out of reach. 50 grand for a family car. That's not innovation for everyone. That's innovation for the few. The EV revolution promised accessibility, not exclusivity. And now, that promise is being tested. The real battle isn't about horsepower or range anymore. It's about price. Whoever can build an EV that the average American can afford without cutting corners will change the auto industry forever. On one side stands Tesla, the face of American innovation. Elon Musk's empire runs on tech, data, and bold vision. A car company that behaves more like Silicon Valley than Detroit. On the other side, there's BYD, China's electric powerhouse, producing millions of EVs with ruthless efficiency. They don't chase headlines, they chase volume. It's two philosophies clashing head-on: Tesla's obsession with pushing the limits of technology versus BYD's mission to dominate through cost and scale. One builds the future, the other floods the present, and now both are zeroing in on the same goal: the budget EV. Tesla's weapon? The long-awaited Model 2, a $25,000 car, meant to put a Tesla in every driveway. BYD's answer? The Seagull, a sub-$10,000 EV that's already taken China by storm. But here's the truth. Cheap doesn't mean better. Because in the US, a car isn't just transportation, it's identity, it's trust, and that's something no price tag can buy. This is the story of a global showdown, where America's most ambitious automaker takes on China's fastest-growing giant. Two visions, one goal, and a future that only one can define. Before we dive deeper, if you're into stories that explore how technology is reshaping our world, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more coming your way. If you haven't heard of BYD yet, you will soon. This company isn't some flashy startup chasing headlines. It's the world's biggest EV manufacturer, quietly outselling Tesla in total units. And their latest weapon? The BYD Seagull, a tiny electric hatchback priced at under $10,000. Yeah, you heard that right. $10,000 for a brand new EV. That's less than a used Honda Civic with 80,000 miles on it. At first glance, the Seagull looks almost toy-like: small frame, minimalist interior. Not exactly the kind of car you'd dream about, but that's the genius. BYD isn't trying to impress, they're trying to flood the market. The Seagull is a statement: electric mobility for everyone. It's the people's EV, cheap to buy, cheap to run, and simple to fix. And under the hood, it's not a joke. The Seagull runs on BYD's own LFP blade battery, one of the safest and longest-lasting lithium batteries on the planet. It can handle thousands of charge cycles, meaning this little bird can keep flying long after others fade. Range? Around 190 miles. Not bad for something that costs less than most Americans spend on a MacBook Pro. The secret sauce is control. BYD doesn't just assemble cars, they own the entire supply chain. Batteries, chips, motors, all made in-house. That's why they can sell cars this cheap and still make a profit. No middlemen, no markups. It's pure Chinese manufacturing efficiency, brutal and effective. And in China, it's paying off big time. The Seagull is selling like crazy. Young drivers, students, gig workers, all getting behind the wheel of their first EV. For them, it's not just a car. It's a revolution on wheels. The gas era is fading, and BYD is cashing in. But let's be real. What works in Shenzhen doesn't always work in San Francisco. American roads are longer, regulations are tougher, and drivers expect more. More safety, more comfort, more prestige. The Seagull isn't built for that. It's built for survival, not status. And there's another thing: brand trust. In China, BYD is a hero. In the US, most people can't even pronounce it right. That matters. Because buying a car here isn't just about price. It's about pride, reliability, and long-term confidence. Still, the idea of a $10,000 EV turning heads in the States, that's a scary thought for competitors. If BYD finds a way to crack US regulations, and they're working on it, the Seagull could become the ultimate disruptor. But here's the thing. Cheap only gets you so far. Innovation isn't just about making something affordable. It's about making something people desire. The Seagull wins the price war. But the question is, can it win hearts? Because across the ocean, Elon Musk has been working on something different. Something that doesn't just make EVs affordable. It makes them aspirational. And that's where the story really shifts. For years, people have been asking the same question. When will Tesla finally make a car for everyone? Well, this might be it. The long-rumored, much hyped, and almost mythical Tesla Model 2. A $25,000 Tesla. That's not just another car. That's a statement. Elon Musk once said, "We need to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy." And this, right here, is the final piece of that puzzle. Because if Tesla can pull this off, an affordable EV that feels premium, smart, and fun, they won't just compete with BYD. They'll redefine what cheap even means. Let's be honest. Tesla doesn't do basic. The Model 2 may cost half as much as a Model 3, but it's not half the car. It's built on Tesla's next-gen platform, lighter, faster, and far cheaper to produce. We're talking revolutionary manufacturing, not just evolution. Instead of the old factory model, Tesla's building what Musk calls the unboxed process. Imagine a car being assembled like a Lego set, modules built separately, then snapped together at the end. It cuts production time, reduces factory footprint, and slashes costs. This is what makes the $25,000 dream possible. It's not about cheaper materials, it's about smarter engineering. And when you look at Tesla's history, that's always been their move. They don't just make cars, they rewrite the rules. From the Roadster to the Model Y, every launch has forced the industry to catch up. The Model 2 is the next punch, smaller, smarter, and designed for scale. Now let's talk design. Rumor has it, the Model 2 takes cues from the European compact market. Think sleek hatchback lines, minimalist interior, and that signature Tesla feel, clean, futuristic, no buttons, all brains. Some leaks suggest a single large screen running the latest FSD software, full voice command, and maybe, just maybe, a new AI-driven driving interface. Yeah, we're talking next-level stuff. But what really sets Tesla apart isn't the car itself. It's the ecosystem. Superchargers, software updates, autopilot. The seamless way everything just works. You buy a Tesla, you don't just buy a car. You buy into the system. You become part of the loop, constantly improving, always connected. And here's the kicker. Tesla isn't just making a cheaper car. They're making a cheaper-to-build car. That's a massive difference. Because BYD cuts cost by simplifying. Tesla cuts cost by innovating. It's like comparing fast food to a home-cooked meal. One saves money now, the other builds value over time. Think about it. Every Tesla is basically a rolling computer. The hardware stays, the software evolves. A BYD Seagull will feel the same on day 1 and day 500. A Tesla? It gets smarter, faster, better. That's what people pay for. Not just the drive, but the experience of progress. And that progress doesn't stop with the car. Tesla's full-stack control from battery chemistry to AI means every part of the Model 2 will feed data back to improve the fleet. Millions of cars learning, driving, and sharing data. BYD sells vehicles. Tesla builds an intelligent network. That's the real difference. And yeah, $25,000 might sound like a price play, but it's really a tech play. Tesla's goal isn't to win the race to the bottom. It's to make the floor higher for everyone else. They're setting a new standard. That affordable can still mean exceptional. You gotta admit, that's next level. Because if Tesla really delivers the Model 2, they won't just sell cars, they'll sell belief. Belief that clean, smart, connected driving isn't just for the rich anymore. It's for anyone who dares to believe in the future. Sure, it's still just talk for now, no final specs, no release date. But history's been clear. When Tesla says something's impossible, that's usually just the prelude to them doing it anyway. The Roadster proved EVs could be fast. The Model S made them cool. The Model 3 made them mainstream. The Model 2? That's the one that makes them inevitable. When you strip away the numbers, the specs, and the headlines, you start to see the real war in the EV industry. And it's not about price tags. It's about ecosystem and trust. Because in the long run, whoever builds the stronger ecosystem doesn't just sell cars, they own the future. Let's start with Tesla. Over the past decade, Tesla didn't just build vehicles. They built an entire world around them. Every charging station, every software update, every satellite data feed, it's all connected. It's not just a company, it's a closed-loop universe. When you buy a Tesla, you're buying into something that keeps getting better on its own. And that's what people trust. When you drive a Tesla, you don't wonder if your battery is safe or if your software will crash. You just know it works. Because Tesla has spent over 10 years proving it. The brand became more than cars. It became a lifestyle, a belief system. People don't line up for Teslas because of discounts. They line up because they believe. Now compare that to BYD. Technically impressive? Absolutely. Efficient? No doubt. But their cars exist in isolation. You buy one, you get a vehicle, not an ecosystem. No global charging network, no unified software experience, no massive data feedback loop that evolves with you. Just a machine. And in 2025, that's not enough, because in the new era of mobility, software is the real engine. And Tesla runs circles around everyone else here. Over-the-air updates that fix bugs, improve performance, even add new features overnight. That's something BYD can't replicate at scale. When you wake up to a better car than you had yesterday, that builds trust. You're not just a buyer. You're a participant in the future. And trust, that's the hardest currency in the world to earn, especially in America. Americans trust consistency, innovation, and transparency. Tesla built that over years of being bold and messy and public. Every success, every failure, live-streamed, tweeted, memed. You know the man behind the curtain. With BYD, most people don't even know who runs it. Let's not forget infrastructure. Tesla's supercharger network is, hands down, the best in the world. Reliable, fast, everywhere. You can drive across the US without worrying about finding a plug. Try doing that with any other brand. It's not just convenience, it's confidence. That network alone is worth billions in customer loyalty. And then there's data, Tesla's secret weapon. Every single car on the road is feeding real-world driving data back to the mothership. Millions of miles per day, all used to train the company's AI systems. That's how their autopilot keeps improving. BYD might sell more cars in China, but Tesla's cars are learning. They're building intelligence that no one else can match. The difference comes down to philosophy. BYD is a manufacturer. Tesla is a tech company that happens to make cars. BYD sells vehicles. Tesla sells experiences. And in the modern world, experiences win. You can copy design, materials, or even hardware, but you can't copy culture. Tesla's entire brand runs on innovation, risk, and a sense of purpose. Here's the irony. BYD has the advantage on paper. Cheaper costs, bigger scale, local dominance. But Tesla owns the narrative. And narratives move markets. When people talk about the future of cars, they're not picturing the Seagull. They're picturing a Tesla. That's the power of ecosystem thinking. And let's talk security and perception. Western consumers care about privacy, data, and transparency. BYD's deep ties with Chinese state regulations make global expansion tricky. Tesla, for all its controversies, still feels like a symbol of freedom through technology. That perception matters more than any feature list. At the end of the day, cars are emotional. You trust them with your life. Literally. That's why ecosystems win. You might buy a BYD because it's cheap, but you stay with Tesla because it makes you feel safe, connected, and part of something bigger. That's not a product advantage, that's a human one. And that's the battlefield BYD can't enter, because it's not about who makes the cheapest car anymore. It's about who builds the most trusted system, who earns the driver's faith, and who makes people believe that progress is personal. BYD might dominate today's charts, but Tesla is quietly writing tomorrow's rulebook. And in a world where cars think, learn, and evolve, it's not just about driving anymore. It's about belonging.